Salaki, I'm probably gonna end it on this last video because it's only like a couple more pages. And I just like to bring out some of the information that Esau hides. But like I said, that's why I always bring out that Luke 12 and 2. It says, under scientific dictatorship, education would really work, with the result that most men and women will grow up to love their servitude and will never dream of revolution. And if you can't pay attention to that, that's what they've done. I mean, like that's why the Rothschilds fund all the. That's why they want to take out slavery and like basically they actually dictate to you what you're going to learn. That's why that saying history is really his story is a true saying. You know what I mean? Like at the end, like because you got people that's in servitude now and don't think that they slaves. Employee, the word employee, when you go to the etymology and go look up what the word means, it means fucking slave. You dummy. You know what I mean? That's why the fuck you gotta a fucking have a birth certificate and you gotta have a driver's license. You know what I mean? Like people think they free and they fucking not. You know what I'm saying? So I just was, expounding on that because at the end, they, like I say, they basically incorporated some of that into today's society. You got people that's like I said, love they serve. You got people that love to go work 70 hours a week. Like the fuck, that's not right. You ain't supposed to be living like that. Before these people came over here and did what they did to this land, this was a paradise. You ever seen the movie Avatar? You know, this land was beautiful. You know what I mean? Like real talk. You know, they used to come over here and get gold and all that. And just like the movie Avatar, they had mined all the fucking oil here. That's why they had to go to other places. Now, they came up with that fracking shit, where that's a process where they was able to go get the fossilized oil. So that's why they're trying to say that we got more oil reserves than anybody else. But yet still, we still trying to take over everybody's oil. To show you how greedy the fucking Edomite is, though, you know, the oil is the lubricant for the tectonic plates that we all stand on. Why do you think we having so many fucking earthquakes? You know, so that's what I'm saying. Like I wrote that scripture, I should go find it. At the end, I'm going to find it. At the end of the day, Esau. It says in the book of Daniel. I'm about to get it. What is that? Daniel 12. No, that is I think it's Ezekiel. Ezekiel 28. This is the book of Ezekiel 28, verse 2. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. No, I'm gonna start at verse 1. Ezekiel 28 and 1. The word of the Lord said, Salaki, the word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, verse 2, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrese, which that was actually a person back then, but the scriptures sometimes are twofold and symbolic, you know what I mean? So that's the modern prince of Tyrese is this red Hebrew Edomite. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because thy heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am of God, I sit in the seat of God in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God. Verse 3, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. And that is a true statement. You know, I mean, the Most High has allowed this Edomite to, I mean, come on, they was actually able to defy gravity. You know, recently I took a plane trip, you know what I mean? And I don't think I would have took one years ago, but you know what I mean? Now when you come to the truth, like I said, your mindset a little bit different. You know what I mean? Like that's a man-made contraption. You know what I mean? Like I'm not getting in that shit, but you know, now I'm like, fuck it. With the will of the Lord, he gonna blow it up or let it crash, that's what it's gonna be. So long story short, I ain't trying to sound proud or tough or nothing. That's just the truth. You know what I mean? Once you realize that you don't control shit, you get a whole totally different outlook on life. Or that's at least I do. And I was just reading a book that actually line up with the statement I just made. You know what I mean? Let me actually get that because I want to bring that up. It was something that in this book the guy said. I was like, damn, that's deep. You know what I mean? Bear with me for a second. I'm a little bit everywhere. Oh, I don't think I lost a little paper, did I? No, I got the paper. Okay, it said, Bear with me for a second. Salakia, I found it. It's out of a book called Rediscover Jesus. We know his name is Yahweh Shah. This is an invitation by Matthew Kelly. He says he's a New York Times bestselling author. But he's not a bad author, you know what I mean? You know, he's up under that plantation Christianity, but at the same time, some of the stuff he's saying is very spiritual. He made a statement. He said, wisdom is the realization that it is insane to want something other than what God wants. And that's the truth. That's a true statement. Because once you realize you're not in control of nothing, you know what I mean, it's futile to, you know what I mean? And that's the illusion of, you know what I mean? Like illusion of choice. Like you have predestination and choice. Like we live in a world where you got options to make choices, but yet still you're predestined to end up where you're supposed to be anyway. You get what I'm saying? That's why you got people that's supposed to have been in the church. Like they make movies about that shit. Where you got people that supposed to have been a preacher all his life, grew up in the church, then something happened, he go to prison, then something happened, and then he come out and some kind of way he make it to now he a pastor in a prison or something. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna be predestined. If it's your will, is the Salaki, if it's the will of the Most High Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah for you to be bringing out the word, no matter where you end up. I mean, like I said, you're gonna end up where He wants you at. It's just that's the way it is. It's nothing by coincidence and happenstance. It's just not. You know what I mean? I've met people that literally talking about when people got killed, they could see the spirit of the death angel inside the hallway and shit. You know, and at one point I used to look at him like, oh, this bitch crazy. But no, she wasn't crazy, right? So like you know. It's it. Huxley came to America from Britain shortly after the first published finding about LSD in 1949. He was accompanied by his friend Dr. Humphrey Osmond, who once in America immediately set about tolling in the MK Ultra minefields, including turning on his friend to acid, while Huxley was the seed crystallizing dozens of LSD and mystical religion projects, both official and informal. Huxley was also friends with George Easterbrook, who had done earlier work into the creation of mind control assassins and hypnotically installed multiple personalities, and worked with Adrija Puaracha, an early researcher in the effects of electromagnetic. Early researcher into the effects of electromagnetics on humans. And when you take the time to really pay attention, if you've been following these series that I've been doing, all these people tend to know of each other or have worked with each other in some point in time, or they're familiar with each other's work. That's how you know it ain't a conspiracy anymore. You get what I'm saying? Like conspiracy, they say, is something that you can't prove. But once it becomes when you can like line up the dots and point certain things out, it becomes more so a fact. It becomes more so truth. You know what I mean? Like certainly Huxley could not have been aware of the effects that the widespread distribution of LSD might bring about. But that's bullshit. That's why they worded it like that. Surely he could not be aware. Certainly he could not be aware. Like the fuck, it's the devil. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, like yeah, he was aware. You know what I mean? Like I'm not even gonna read that part. But I don't know if you're familiar with okay. It says Huxley's most influential accolade was Dr. Timothy Leary, who in the 1950s coasted on 8 monetary grants from the National Institute of Mental Health, a pipeline for CIA funding. Leary was first turned on to LSD by his longtime friend, CIA agent Frank Barron. In an interview for High Times magazine in February 1978, Leary said, I didn't know that magazine had been around that long. Just show you the folly of this fucking place. Now, if you go into Timothy Leary was also actually, what's the word? A student of the philosophies of Alexa Crowley. You can go look that up. So that's how showing you got people putting their trust in faith in man, you putting your faith in this government. Majority of these people in this government, like the ones that work in the shadows, the CIA and shit like that, they are, they part of, like they offensive. Why you think that one army officer, I think he ended up becoming a general or something, the guy that founded the church, he ended up like taking over the Church of Satan after Anton LaVey died or whatever. I can't think of the guy's name, and I'm not about to look him up. But whoever's the head person of the Church of Satan now, but he worked for the military. You know what I'm saying? To show you how backwards and fucked up this place is, you're gonna have a Christian right here, but you're gonna have a you're gonna have a Satanist right here. Now these two people these two opposing forces, right? What happens when two opposing forces come together? Since everybody's so fucking smart. Most High Code. If you look back, many things that we thought were accidents turned out were not accidents. That's the spirit, because I just said what you think is coincidence ain't. The entire LSD movement itself was sponsored originally by the CIA, to whom I give great credit. I would not be here today if it had not been for the foresight and prestige of the CIA psychologists. So give the CIA credit for being truly an intelligence agency. Mind control researcher Walter Bulwark interviewed Leary in the 1970s, and the acid guru had some interesting things to say about his association with the CIA. Asked, do you think CIA people were involved in your group in the 60s? Leary responded, of course they were. I would say that 80% of my movements, 80% of the decisions I made were suggested to me by CIA people. I like the CIA. Fucking devil. I like the CIA. The game they're playing is better than the FBI, better than the Saigon police, better than Franco's police, better than the Israeli police. They're 1,000 times better than the KGB. So it comes down to who you are going to work for. And these are the same people that flooded your fucking country with drugs. This is the same. It's a book called Economic Hitman. These are the same people that go around to other parts of the country and basically buy out people to basically push, these people's agenda. People are really gonna feel very stupid in the day of the Lord. You know what I mean? Like when this shit just economy collapse, you got people probably really still relying on the government after they shut down the fucking government in your face. On that note alone, unless you in a situation where like Most High got demons on you, or you just physically impaired, you can't work, you should never be relying on this government. If you can't, like in that movie V for Vendetta, it was a statement he made, and I tend to speak on it. He says people shouldn't be afraid of their government. Government should be afraid of their people. When you go into the word government, it's like control. You know what I mean? And ment is mind, like the mental. So, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, these fucking, in Psalms 118 and 8, it says, let me get it real quick. I'm going to start at verse 6. Psalms 118 and 6. The Lord is on my side. I will not fear. What can man do unto me? The Lord taketh my part with them that help me. Therefore shall I see my desire upon them that hate me. Verse 8. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. Verse 9. It's better to trust in the Lord than put confidence in princes. Donald Trump is considered a prince. He's the head of the so-called free known world. But how is this place free? How are you free when you got to motherfucking comply with pretty much everything that they tell you to? You're not free. How are you free when they can come and just seize your fucking land? And they haven't started doing it yet. It's actual like laws written in place where if anything happens that they deem emergency, they can come seize your fucking land. How the fuck you free? And then you constantly arguing with niggas. They that family left from my land, my family for 15 generations. And, do you know anything about this kind of, do you know anything about a colonial title? You know what I mean? Like, how about that? You could own a fucking title and then it's a whole totally different title. Like, come on, man. Like I said, and that's why we call this man the devil. I think that shit just like what pissed me off. But I wanted to read this part, then I'm going to end it because Timothy Leary, on top of all the other shit, he don't like Jake. It says they're 1,000 times better than the KGB. So it comes down to who are you going to work for, the Yankees or the Dodgers? Bowaert might have responded that one could simply drop out from the game as Leary had counseled the entire generation. And basically, they set this fucking demon up to basically go after the youth at that time. He got a whole generation of people hooked on drugs. But like I said, if you research enough, that's what they say, that rabbit hole. That rabbit hole go deep. You research enough, you'll find out he was all into Lester Crowley. Now you finding out, like, I didn't even know he had all the CIA ties. That lets you know that the CIA, come on, they said the CIA funded him, his fucking research. And then they supposed to lock him up, but the same people that locked him up was fucking, they funded him. So that's all smoke and mirrors, you know what I'm saying? Like, it says, Leary sang the praises of the CIA throughout the interview. Asked whether he had been used by the CIA, Leary said, I've known this for 10 years. So at the end of the day, you know, working relationship. You know what I mean? The CIA so cold, they'll bring drugs to a neighborhood, let motherfuckers sell it, and then motherfucking come lock you up, and then when you get out, you'll still have that plug with them. What do you think, like, guys like Freeway Ricky Ross, like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, it says, that's what that whole Snowfall series is about. That's supposed to be Ricky Ross. You know, but my spirit, like, back in the day, I probably would have watched that shit. Like, everybody said, oh, Snowfall, fuck Power or Snowfall. This is what niggas thinking about. You ain't thinking about that these motherfucking Turkish people shot at America. None of that. You ain't paying attention to that. You would have talked about some Snowfall. Like, get your dumb ass out of here, man. Anyhow, and I gotta call you dumb for that. Cause like I said, like, that's a nigga for you though at the last minute. Like, a nigga sit up there and smoke up all his food, and then when he at their belly rumbling, then he wanna start the thing. And then that's how niggas get killed. Cause, you know, I heard a nigga just tell me something recently. You telling me, you know, the spirit of the Lord is something fierce. You telling me I bust my ass for my money. You chose to squander your money. You know, it makes you think about the prodigal son. Like, that's so much deeper than what I'm about to use it as. But, you know, in my mind, because I was just listening to that author speak on that. You know, he had his own little commentary on it. But, you know, I can see why the older brother was mad. You know, because he like, motherfucker, I sat up here and stayed with him. You know what I mean? Stayed with the father, did what supposed to did, while you went off and squatted. But yeah, why? You know what I mean? Like, well, you telling me I'm gonna work, bust my ass, and then you do squander yours, but then you gonna bust me in the head to try and get my shit? Man, I'll come kill your fucking family. You know what I mean? Like, shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, and then the spirit of the Lord, like I said, you gotta remember when some of these dudes that think they hardcore criminals, when they do some of that wickedness and that raw shit, that be the spirit of the Lord put demons on these people to do shit like that. Like, but you ain't saying shit yet. Jacob's Trouble is considered a time worse. It's called Jacob's Trouble for a reason. Out of all the hellish, you thought slavery when they was cutting off rods and, you know, raping the women and killing the children and all that was something. What do you think this gonna be? They say that it's called Jacob's Trouble because it's gonna be a time like this that was never seen in the world before. Like, it says, in an attempt to pin him down, Bowaert asks, you were wittingly used by the CIA. Leary heads, wait, when you say CIA, it's like saying niggers. I knew I was being used by the intelligence agencies of this country. Asked again whether he wittingly worked for the CIA. Leary answered forcefully, yes, I was a witting agent of the CIA, but I am not a willing agent of Nixon. I did everything in my power to throw out Nixon. So, and that's that scripture, how their tongues will fall upon themselves. So at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, he literally worked for the government, but then he's talking about he's not working for the president. That's how you know the president don't have as much control as you think. You know what I mean? Like that. You know, it's like how you got Rome, and you got the Pope, and then you got a whole nother Pope, the Black Pope. You know what I mean? Like, which has power that oversees the regular Pope, and that's how these devils work in secret. You know what I'm saying? Like, they present one thing to you, and they doing something on the opposite side that you can't see. You know what I mean? That's what makes him the devil. I'm gonna end this with this, because that's enough. You know what I mean? Luke 8. This is Luke 8:16. No man, when he have lighted a candle, covered it with a vessel, or put it under a bed, but set it up on a candlestick, that which enter in may see the light. This going into basically when you get this truth, you supposed to proclaim it. But what I wanted to bring out was, because this kind of makes the point I'm trying to get. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. And at the end of the day, like, these devils are being exposed. That's why I tend to do lessons like this, because you got people that would not like, most brothers in the truth. We are knowledgeable about a lot of different stuff. I could tell a person certain things all day, and they look at you like the byword that you called a nigga. Oh, this nigga can't know shit. Then it's funny. You go look up history of how many inventions so-called niggas that created in this piece of shit place alone. And, the whole patent thing, they came up with that just to steal Jake's ideas. You know what I mean? Like, majority of the shit, man, like I said, on that note, so that's why I tend to bring out books and whatnot, because when I line them up with scriptures, maybe that open Jake's mind up. But Most High did throw us a bone. Even though it wasn't the males, because it's saying scripture, the book of Ezekiel, the pastor of my flock are men. At the end of the day, it was a Jake female out there. You know what I mean? But she was in a totally wrong spirit, and to show you how much so, the younger brother sat up there and said, well, you shouldn't come out here. You should be watching this on YouTube, or you can watch my channel or whatever. And she so adamant about what she want to say, her two piece. Well, I'm gonna do. He like, what if something happened though? You amongst men, a fight break out. Well, I'm gonna be just fighting. See, that's a proud ass woman. You know what I mean? Because you got countries like in Venezuela, you had people take the chance of fucking anything but getting raped and killed there. The women had enough sense. Well, when the shit get bad here, that's when they gonna want. When you ain't gonna be, you know what I mean? And I don't give a fuck the most butchest bitch that thinks she tough, or the most ghetto queen, or the Cardi B's of the world that set niggas up. You know what I mean? Yeah, you had a Cardi B in motherfucking the book of what was that? The book of Eli. Remember the little bitch that was trying to set him up? And then he killed all the niggas. Then can I come with you? He like, no. No, what the fuck? Yo, nasty, yeah. He probably fucking all them niggas. It wasn't no problem. They fucked her. There's 12 guys, one chick. Like, fuck out of here. So, I'm going to end the lesson on that. It brought out the points that I wanted to. With that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory, call, Allah, Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba Hashem. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and sincerity, risking their lives and the freedom to do so. Shalom to the Akwati and Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willing, this is an edifying video. Shalom to confusion of face, brethren, join onto our ranks. With that, I want to say shalom, and the Bible above.